Three of my students got their first sale yesterday. Keegan got his first sale. Gabe got his first sale. And in his words, he says, "Thank you so much, Hamza, for creating the ECC Blueprint, which is this program, and changing my life. Guys, listen to Hamza. His advice works." And Sam got his first sale of starting his new version of his business. Basically, the advice that I give to young men on making money fucking works. Turn your brain off, just listen to what I'm gonna say, and I will help you make money way faster than you trying to figure things out by yourself. The first lesson that I'm gonna give you is that critical thinking is for egotistical asshole idiots. You've heard online that critical thinking, question everything, like the skinny neck philosophy, is really good for you. Question everything, be a critical thinker. If you're already advanced, by all means go ahead. But critical thinking for you is kind of like you going into the kickboxing gym. Let's say it's like a beginner. He comes into the gym and he trains with my coach. And my coach will tell him "Oh, hey bro, here's how to jab, take a step with the punch." And imagine him going, the student going, "No, I don't think that's right." Imagine you coaching someone in fitness or whatever area you're pretty good in, a complete beginner. You tell them what to do, and imagine them looking at you and saying, "No, I don't think that's the way you're supposed to do it." They've got no experience. You've got more experience than them. You'd be thinking "What the fuck, you egotistical motherfucker? Just turn your brain off and do what I say." How the fuck have you formed any opinion when you have no gains? You've made no progress in this. You have to understand that the critical thinking, the disagreements in your brain from listening to your mentor are not valid actual thoughts that are on your side. You have to understand this brutal truth. A lot of the time, your own brain is your enemy. Think about it. Your own brain convinced you to watch porn 1,000 times. Your own brain has convinced you to procrastinate thousands of times. Your own brain has convinced you to rack up thousands of hours of screen time on your phone. Your brain can sometimes not be trusted. And I'm telling you, in this area of you wanting to make money, I am telling you right now, your own brain will disagree with the advice that I give out, and then you'll just stop and be like, "Yep, so I just will stay here." Hamza said to make this product. "No, I don't think that would work for me." Hamza said to just choose a niche and to do it like this. You'll be like, "No, I think it's this one or this one or this one." It's motherfucker, you're fucking poor. Your brain has kept you poor. My brain has made me rich. The way that you make progress when you're a complete beginner is by turning off your brain and just blindly doing what your mentor says, even though you don't get it. Those conventional movies where the Karate Kid or whatever, where there's the student and the master will tell the student to do something that they don't understand the value of, and the student starts complaining and says "Why am I don't know, balancing and using chopsticks when I wanted to learn how to do karate?" And the master says, "Just trust me." And the student complains, says, "No, this isn't going to help. This isn't going to help." And eventually, when the student's finally not being a fucking egotistical asshole, he listens to the master, and then he realizes, "Oh, all this time it was actually so valuable. I just couldn't see it because I'm a fucking beginner." So when I give you advice in business or even in self-improvement, you can't see how valuable it is. You can't see that this is literally the path to you making progress because you're such a beginner that you can't tell if you're doing good or bad. And here's the thing, if you're not good in an area, why would you let your brain say anything about it? If you're fucking poor right now, if you've got less than $50,000 in your bank account, which you probably do, why would you listen to anything your brain says, which has kept you at that point? It makes no sense to be this fucking philosopher, these fucking philosophy dorks, and all the young guys who've got fucking long greasy hair. They're question everything, be a critical thinker. It sounds wholesome to say that. I sound like some weird manipulative little asshole telling you "Yeah, don't question everything, just fucking do what I say and you'll make money." But I'm telling you, this is the way. I'm telling you, the guys who are making money are the ones who turn their brain off and they're just doing what they've been told to do. The guys who get the girls are the ones who turn their brain off. They just walk up to the girl because they watch those cold approach videos and they just gave it a fucking try. Your brain can't be trusted. You need to just trust my brain and the exact vehicle, the sort of path to making money that I'm about to tell you. Before we do that, I want you to visualize right now the version of you who actually deserves to be on 10K a month. Imagine the version of you who makes $10,000 every single month compared to the little slimy, greasy version of you right now. What's the difference between you guys? The version of you who is currently on 10K a month likes to work 5 times more than you currently do. He gets enjoyment, more enjoyment from the work than you do. He procrastinates less. He likes to work. If he can't sleep, he works. Now you're thinking, well, yeah, kind of makes sense because he's making the money, so it's more positively reinforcing. No. When you turn on the enjoyment of work, you will make more money. It's not that, okay, you make more money, now work is more fun. It's that you turn on the enjoyment, the sort of the purposeful, fulfilling understanding of work. That makes you more money. Do you understand? It's like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? The enjoyment of work comes first. So what you need to understand right now is if you are poor, it's because you don't enjoy working as much as you need to. And this is our God-given gift as a man, and I don't think you've invoked this just yet. God gave us the power to choose how we feel and to form our values. You can turn on, literally just click on the ability to enjoy work for the rest of your life. You fucking, like, you get me, right? There's some guys nodding their heads, even though this sounds weird. Like, you can literally just choose to value work more. You can choose to just enjoy work more. You can literally like just fucking like mentally say to yourself, just done. It's like, I will just enjoy work more. You can literally just do that. As men, we get to choose what emotion we sit in. I chose to be in more of like sort of an angry, dark emotion for this. I could switch it up and suddenly be in an angry version, a lustful version. I could suddenly be in a very polite, friendly, smiley kind of energy. We as men can choose our emotions. We can choose our values. For women, it's a lot less. Women are way more swayed by like their menstrual cycle and like the changes of their body and their mind and the hive mind, because women are way more conformist than men are. I'm telling you right now, turn on your desire of work for the rest of your life. From this exact moment, take out these fucking gay little liberal beliefs in your mind of like, oh yeah, well, you know, the economic crisis is caused by rich people, we should tax this. Fuck you. Oh, you know, there's wealth inequality. No, there isn't wealth inequality, there's productivity inequality. People, like rich people, produce more. You need to just have this mindset right now, this very, very positive mindset towards work, because the version of you that's making good money, he sees work in such a more positive view than you. Imagine if inside of your brain there's like 300 beliefs around money. Money is good. Money, this is how you should use money, saving money, whatever. Imagine there's like 300 beliefs. In the version of you that makes money, more of those 300 beliefs are positive. They're like colored in the light of like green. For you right now who's poor, the 300 beliefs about money, 300 is a random number. I'm just, you know, like imagine there's so many different random beliefs you could have about money, about saving money, investing money, making money, business, whatever. Of that chunk of beliefs, way more are negative in your mind. They're like red. Do you see the difference? Your future self, the one who actually made money, he started to see money and work way more positively first, and then he made more. And you've got to think why this is. This is just human nature. If you think something is wrong, if you think something is bad, it'll be very hard for you to go and do that thing. It'll be very hard for you to, especially if it requires discipline, right? We know that something's bad, like vaping, but if you're like a fucking crack addict, you start like vaping like these fucking retards in your school or something because it's a bad habit, it's addictive. But when there's something that's uncomfortable and it requires discipline to do so, like for example with working, you know, there's a bit of friction to work because it's mentally demanding, then you need to have it kind of frictionless in your belief system that working is a good thing, that you are a good person for working, that you enjoy working. And please just like fucking understand what I'm saying here. You can turn that on literally right now. There's just resistance in the minds of the peasants and the liberals who kind of say to themselves like, yeah, you know, like work is bad and Elon Musk shouldn't, fuck you, just shut the fuck up about all these weird little beliefs and just say to yourself that work is positive, because that's the future version of you. That's what he had to do already. It wasn't that you'll make money, then you start to see work more positive. Although that is also a boost, that's like what happens. You've got to see it as a positive thing to begin with. Because of this new mindset where you form like new positive opinions about work, you will work way harder and way smarter. And that is the gap between the peasants and the people who make money. The people who make money literally genuinely just work harder and they work smarter on something, on like a better vehicle than the poor people. It's that simple. It isn't this like fucking inequality bullshit that people like to talk about. Like I put the sort of the pussies in a really weird circumstance because I'm brown and I was born in Pakistan, but now I'm like this right wing kind of patriarchal, angry guy who doesn't, agree with all the sort of weakness of the West, of the left. And so basically what you just need to understand is if you turn on this desire for work, you will work harder, you will achieve success. There's a story I want to tell you from a group of friends of mine. It was last year. I went to London for a trip and I'm around like these 3-4 guys. And we're getting dinners, we're just hanging out for a few days. Like I was staying in like a hotel. I was just doing like a little fun trip, whatever. And so they really got to know me and my schedule because they basically aligned to my schedule. So I woke up at 5 a.m. I trained first thing in the morning. I only ate meat. I was like doing cold showers and cold approach, just like the self-improvement discipline life. And one of my friends said this once. He was kind of like talking to the youngest guy of our group. I think he was like 19 years old. So my friend here, he says it to him and he's like, he points at me and he says, he makes like $200,000 a month and he still wakes up at 5 a.m. He still wakes up earlier than we do. The phrase he used was, imagine trying to compete with me when I am already rich and I still wake up earlier than you do and I still work harder than you do. Just, can you imagine that for a second? Think about it. You need money more than I do. Like I'm speaking actual facts. You need money way more than I don't really need money now, okay? You need money more than I do and I still work harder than you. You should be ashamed of yourself when you really think about it. How am I? Like, I retired. I don't know if you knew this, but I fucking retired. I made like $1 million, $2 million. I saved it up and I just fucking retired and I decided to like stop this business and whatever. I literally retired. I've got more money than I need and I still work harder than you. And you need money. You haven't retired your parents yet. I'm the only person on the internet who's going to tell you the fucking truth. You should be fucking ashamed of yourself. I have already retired my family and I still work harder than you. Your parents still work shitty jobs for you, motherfucker. Like, they work those jobs not because they like them, but they work those jobs to provide for you in this fucking, like how expensive shit is these days. They work those jobs for you and you still haven't retired them, which is widely possible as a young, ambitious man, which you have the potential to, right? You're not some pussy who's watching this. And I wouldn't say to some like pussy little dweeb, he could retire his parents, because maybe not him, but you could. You're the type of guy who's watching these videos, who's on self-improvement, who's ambitious and aggressive in life. You could have retired your parents by now if you took life seriously years ago. You didn't. You fucked up. Now, how serious are you going to go from now? Do you want to have this fucking dark kind of like competitive energy where even your friends are looking at you thinking, fuck me, bro, imagine trying to compete with you? Or you want to still keep going half-ass in this shit, doing your little gay fucking 1 hour of unwinding at the end of a fucking day? How do you need more time to unwind than I do? How do you think you deserve more unwinding when your parents are still fucking working? When I had this awakening like you are in right now in 2020, I just fucking worked. Now, I had time off to go exercise and whatever and meditate, but I just fucking worked because I couldn't live with that idea of like, oh yeah, let me just play video games for an hour a day and, eat some fucking chips or something. What the fuck? When there's money to be made, especially with like the new age kind of businesses like these guys are on, when there's like actually genuinely fast ways to get rich. Like, I'm not talking something comfortable, 20k a year, 50k a year or something. I'm talking like fucking 10, 20, $30,000 a month is possible for fucking teenagers these days. It literally is possible. It literally is happening. There's someone your age who's making a fuck ton of money. There's someone your age, your ethnicity, your cultural background who makes 50k a month right now. What did you do over COVID? I made a video talking about COVID and I said like, yeah, if you didn't get rich over COVID, you're a fucking piece of shit. And you've got to hold your hand up and just say, yeah, fair enough. We all had free time during COVID. All you motherfuckers who said before COVID were talking about locking in and all this gay shit and, I'm going to get into the gym, whatever. COVID started. I was addicted to weed. I hated my life. I was depressed. I used to cry. I used to work night shifts. I used to work 16-hour shifts. I want you to just think about that for a second. Have you ever heard of someone doing a fucking 16-hour shift? My job, when COVID started, because I had to work through COVID. I didn't get like the furlough or anything else as other people. I was a key worker. I worked in like a homeless shelter. My shift would start at 12 a.m. at midnight. Imagine it being 11:30 when you're usually asleep. Imagine 11:30 you get ready. You go to this like dark, dangerous part of your city. You start work at midnight, and my shift would be 8 hours, so it would end at 8 a.m. A lot of those days, I would take the next person's shift. So I would work from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. as well. So imagine 11:30 you get ready and you come back home at 5 p.m. the next day, 16 hours later. Can you imagine a 16-hour shift? I was doing that whilst taking my laptop into the fucking, like the little room that I would sit in. Like it was like all kind of caged off, and the homeless guys would like press this little ringing thing and I would like let them into the home. I would sit there with my fucking laptops and I was learning how to build businesses. Big fucking balls. Tiny. Now you can keep letting me insult you, or you can be a little pussy and say, oh yeah, this guy's being a bit aggressive, whatever. But it's the truth. My parents are proud of me, your parents are probably not, and I don't blame them. And you can't even blame them either. And you know, when you want to do something in life, you want to be a YouTuber or whatever, you don't want to go to university. You know how your parents don't take you seriously? Mine do. If I tell my parents I'm going to do something, they believe me. Why? Because I already have done. I have young guys who come up to me like, oh, you know, like I told my parents I want to get into business, but they won't believe me. They say, you know, that I should go to university. And I'm like, yeah, like I don't blame them. Your room smells like cum. You've got a fucking like gooning spot in your fucking bedroom, you autistic little weirdo, you internet little dweller. You literally like, they've smelt cum like fucking spunk in your room for like 10 years straight, and you're wondering why your parents don't trust you, because you are this version of you right now that doesn't deserve trust. That's this weird adolescent teenager kind of mindset. You've never went through a rite of passage. You're not even a fucking man, and now you're saying to your parents like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna lock in and get famous and rich or whatever. Yeah, I don't blame them for not believing in you either. Can you blame them when all they've seen is you being addicted to video games and like smelling like spunk and eating fucking like, you know, like shit that makes your body all soft and everything, and your dad's looking at you like, what a disappointment, he doesn't look like the hard kind of like young man that I wanted. Can you really blame them when they don't believe you and your dreams? I can't. When you start to rack up like this track record of wins that everyone can see, like you made $1,000, then $5,000, then $10,000, then you got into insane shape. You wake up earlier than your father. He wakes up to get ready for work. You're already downstairs like doing push-ups when he comes down. Like it's almost like you've taken his soul. I had that exact moment in 2020 when I came back home as a little fucking gay little video gamer, weed smoker, porn addict. I had moved out for university. I came back and I wanted to make sure I was going to set this impression right. So instead of me just living my life the same way that you are, where like, yeah, you kind of go to the gym, but other than that, you're basically still a fucking waste of space. I came back, I shaved my fucking head, so suddenly I was just bald, which was like a big, you know, change. And then I started waking up at 5 a.m., which was a little bit early. I think my dad would wake up at like 5:30. And I remember one day I was doing something. I think I was outside in the back garden in the dark, skipping. And he noticed, he saw, you know, because the little outdoor light was on. And I saw his face, and the noise he made was kind of like, eh? Like he kind of looked at me like that, like, oh, couldn't you sleep? And I was like, no, I'm exercising right now. I did that every fucking morning. I know it's not about money, but it's just about the concept of like the version of you who deserves to make the money. That version of me deserved to make the money. I was waking up earlier than my father. And he had never, like my family had never seen that personality. And the way that I spoke was different. The way that you speak, in the current version of you right now that doesn't deserve to make the money, you still speak like a little mummy's boy. When your parents ask, like, what do you want to do with your life? You're like, I'm thinking that maybe university, you know, Mom, I maybe want to eat more than 2 eggs a day. And your parents are like, no, only 2 eggs maximum per day. And no, you've got to go to university. Those first 1 or 2 weeks when I came back home, one day I was in the kitchen and my mom asked me, so like, you know, you graduated, what do you want to do now? Like what kind of job or whatever. I swear to God, it felt a little bit uncomfortable, but I looked her directly in the eyes, and with like a little bit of a, like, it sounds autistic to say this, but with a little bit of a intentionally sort of deeper, stronger voice, I said, I'm going to be a YouTuber. It felt a bit, I'm not going to lie, like I felt like a little bit of like cringe, you know, like saying it like that. The next day I woke up and I had 80 new subscribers. Beforehand, I only had 4, like it took me like fucking months to get to 40 subscribers. The next day I woke up with 120. my mom and my dad had sent my channel to basically everyone that they knew. And I woke up with like a bunch of new comments, even from people in Pakistan, like, hey bro, it's your cousin from the farm, your dad sent us the link, whatever, comments like that. They believed me. You know why? Because I didn't speak like you currently are to people and to yourself. I didn't say, I'm thinking of becoming a YouTuber, little fucking tiny, tiny little testicles. I didn't speak like that. It was big ball energy, big dick energy, where you look at your parents and say, I'm going to do X. Do you see the point in this section of the video is there's such a difference between where you are right now and the type of person you are when you hit 10K a month and above that as well. You need to understand something which basically everyone in business knows, but you probably don't know just yet, which is that business is basically just a reflection of yourself. The higher tier of a human being you become, the higher tier of a business you will build. If there's blatant fucking problems in your life right now, like you eat shit food and it's giving you brain fog, it in some way will be obvious in your business. So for example, you think you're kind of switched on in self-improvement, but you're missing a lot of things. Like you're going to bed irregularly, you're still jacking off a few times a week, or you're the same as everyone else who I speak to for my audience is like, you have like a solid few days or even a week or two where things are really good, and then you just randomly fucking jack off like 4 times in one day and play video games for like 8 hours, don't you? I bet you have that same fucking massive rut day. And that is also like what we'll see in your business efforts as well. And I'm telling you, like, this is the reason why you're feeling like you've got no results in business and money so far. So your business is a reflection of you, and there's 2 different versions of you. So you need to start like visualizing the version of you who actually deserves to be on like top 1% income of the entire world, or even more. I mean, of the world is a bit unfair because you're including like populations who don't make much money. But if we say top 1% of like US income, I'm pretty sure still about 10K. So you make top 1%, including doctors and neurosurgeons and fucking astronauts. You will probably make more money than most of them when you're at 10K a month. So what kind of human being do you need to be? You need to know autistic level details in the kind of business model or career that you're getting into. Not just that you try it randomly and you give up when you don't get results, but you need to know as much as I do. For example, when I was getting into bodybuilding, and every single day I would watch like 3 hours worth of fitness content, not like entertaining shit, but of like educational stuff. So I started to understand like every study that was coming out about what was the most optimal exercises, range of motion, all that stuff. And so I know more about weightlifting from that period than even most like personal trainers do, because I obsessively, out of curiosity, learned about it for years. That's like the version of you that will create so much results. So for you, when you want to make money, you have to become so obsessive that you eat, sleep, breathe, and talk about this topic all the time. Your fucking Instagram stories should be you ranting about money. Your conversations with your father should be about money. Your conversations about your mother, even if she's not really interested, should be about fucking money. She's like, cooking breakfast in the morning and you're speaking to her. Yeah, and like, yeah, fiat currency is whack anyway. Like you're constantly talking about it because the version of you that actually deserves to make the money is obsessed. Now let's talk about exactly what to sell to make your first $10,000 a month. And what I recommend is actually what I have here. You can barely see it right now, but it's called a school community. Basically, there's a website where you can monetize, you can make money from your knowledge in an area that you've done pretty well in. So my one here, the one that I'll link below, is literally on this topic of like starting a business. I have another one on self-improvement. Basically, you create like this page where you can add in videos and modules and text and books and whatever that you can make it in your free time, where you can basically teach something about a topic. The website's called School, and the idea is like you make your own school thing and you're like a teacher of a certain topic. This is the business that I would personally recommend because it's literally exactly what I do. And so you think of a topic, like a goal that you've done pretty well in. Maybe you've like learned a lot about fitness. Maybe you've learned a lot about, quitting video games or improving your sleep or whatever goal that you've kind of set for yourself that you've made pretty good progress in. And then you basically just make one of these like websites, which you'll figure it out, super easy to do. And you can just have it as a place where you teach everything you possibly can about that topic. So for example, I have my girl is literally, she's got one of these for hair. She literally, like, because she got like super super like fucking beautiful hair, whatever. So she literally has one of these like communities where she just teaches like how to get better hair, and girls from like TikTok and stuff, they'll buy it because they want hair like hers. So it can be any topic that you feel like you've made some progress in. If you're a piece of shit, you'll be thinking, oh well, I don't know what topic. It's like, well, yeah, if you've got no fucking accomplishments in life, you're gonna have a fucking struggle. Of course you are. Like, what else did you want me to say? Sometimes someone will message me or say like, yeah, but I don't know like what topic because I haven't really achieved anything. And I'm like, holy fuck, that's fucking sad. Can you really right now not think of one area that you've like had some kind of achievement in? Holy fuck. Honestly, I really hope you feel like shit, honestly. Like no one else will talk to you like this on the internet. But fuck me, if you were my brother, if you were like my little brother or my son, what the fuck? Imagine a young man saying like, yeah, but there's nothing I'm good at. What the fuck? Inverted PP fucking small testicle. What the fuck? Little man child. There's not a single topic that you've made any progress in. If that's the case, go back to fucking self-improvement and go do something with your life. Holy shit. If you feel like you've made no progress. Now, hopefully, it's just a bit of imposter syndrome and, you know, you're just being humble. And if someone else looked at you, they'll be like, no, like, bro, you got super high grades in that exam, or you're jacked, or you improved your mental health, or, you know, you fixed your relationship with your father. These are all random achievements that you could be talking about and monetizing. But there's some guys who have literally fucking done nothing with their lives. 20 years old, they've played some video games. They were never really good at those video games, so they can't really teach that. They've got like a shitty relationship with their family, never really improved that, never really good with girls, never became more confident, never made more progress in anything. They've just kind of like existed for just the years of their life. What a fucking disgrace if that's you. If that's you, go back to my main channel, the self-improvement channel. Shut your fucking mouth, follow the advice on there, and do something with your fucking life first. Self-improvement is the fix. If you're watching this, hopefully, you can point to something and be like, yep, I've actually made some progress. Not amazing, I'm not some professional bodybuilder, but I'm in pretty fucking good shape. I've got a six-pack. Or, you know, I got a beautiful girlfriend. I was struggling with like speaking to girls, and I had to build up the confidence to do so. I learned so many things about how to speak to women, and it was a bit of a struggle, but I'm pretty good at it now. Or maybe it was like, yeah, I used to have social anxiety, but now I've got a group of friends because I learned how to like go speak to people in real life, or, you know, those kinds of things, right? If you've got something that you feel like you've made a bit of progress in, which feels like quite attractive, that you can imagine, yeah, like younger me really, really wanted this progress, this achievement that I've got right now, then we can literally monetize you teaching what you learned on that journey. Let's say, for example, you used to be skinny fat, and then after that, like in the last few years, you've built a pretty nice physique. You've got a six-pack, you've got like the shapely pecs and everything, and you've learned so much about fitness in the last few years. What you would do is you would make one of these websites. It's called a school community. My one's linked below, so you can look at it if you want to, but like you'd make one of these, or you can use like different websites, whatever. But the idea is basically you'll teach online. You'll create like this sort of program where the way that you teach can be in different formats. So for example, you can record videos just like I'm doing here, and they are video modules of like a course, basically like a playlist of YouTube videos. Imagine like you go onto YouTube and you know how there's like playlists on YouTube. Imagine a playlist of videos. That is called a course, and people will literally buy that. People will buy that for $100, $200. I know you're probably thinking, no, they wouldn't. Why would anyone buy that when you can just get it on YouTube? It doesn't fucking matter what you think. People literally buy it. About like 0.5 to 1% of people who see your sales page will buy it. So you don't need to think like, you know, just be a fucking cock and think, oh, but why would anyone want to buy from me? Because people will literally just buy it, because people just fucking invest in education these days, very much so compared to a few years ago. And you can also offer things like live calls, Zoom calls, and group chats, and, you know, just ways that basically you can think of like formats to teach the topic that you feel like you've made progress in. So that's the product, like the sort of like place, the program that we'd sell is we pick one niche, one topic that we feel like we've made good progress in. So for example, for you, let's say it's like getting a six-pack. You've got a really good six-pack, you've made progress, it feels awesome. You didn't have one naturally, so you had to learn the trials and tribulations, whatever. Then we will put all of our knowledge inside of some format. Like for example, we might do the live calls, video course, ebook, whatever, and then we'll sell it on a website like this one. This is the one I use, but there's other websites you can go look into, like Teachable, Kajabi, whatever. We'll place our teaching material inside of that program. We'll set it up, you know, the sales page, all like the random shit. I'm not going to walk you through, but you know, the random shit of like when you go onto a website and you're signing up the details. Like I just did it before for this one, where it's like, oh, what picture do you want to use and what title, whatever, that type of shit. You'll figure it out step by step. But when you've got your teaching material in there, people will literally buy it from you. But this brings us to the next section, which is like, how do you actually sell it? Let's say you make like one of these little pages that I've got here, this like community, this basically this school group here, or you make like, you know, a video course or an ebook. Sure, you could imagine like think in your mind, you could imagine making an ebook, right? You know, you could imagine writing it, sure. To sell it it just seems a bit vague, right? How do you go from like writing the ebook or maybe recording the videos to actually selling it? Because that's the step that your understanding probably stops at, right? You could imagine recording a playlist of videos, which is called a video course, and you could make that. It might actually be pretty good with the knowledge that you'd give, but then how do you actually sell it? So that's where these websites come in, where you can have basically a place, like an integrated kind of website software, where you upload the thing that you've made. So the video course, ebook, whatever, and you've now got like basically a sales page for it. So we've got a page that says, okay, Hamza's 6-pack program. I'll help you to get a 6-pack. I'll teach you everything I know. It's $49. Join now. You've got like a website that says something like that. But then you could imagine setting up that website, but you just kind of know like, yeah, but no one's going to fucking buy it. Like, how would I get people to buy it? The way that you get people to buy it is by posting social media content, basically posting YouTube videos on the exact same topic. Kind of like how, you know, when you walk into Costco or some of those stores, like the supermarkets, they have like the little lady who gives you the free sample. They want to sell this box of brownies. So what do they give you? Little pieces of brownie. So we want to sell like this program, this sort of educational program, which is on getting a 6-pack, for example. That's just one idea. Yours might be on quitting porn or whatever. We want to sell this program on getting a 6-pack. What we'll do is we'll make free YouTube videos on the exact same topic, which is very similar to the paid program because it's kind of like a sample. And then inside of that video, we'll mention, oh yeah, we have the full program if anyone's interested in buying it, which is linked below. You can see the link below this video, right? I've got like a blue link there. And what's beautiful is any limiting belief you have of like, yeah, but who's going to buy it? You can get this stuff for free, all of that. It doesn't actually matter because to sell is just a game of maths where basically when you get probably a maximum of around 1,000 people to click on that link, you will get a sale. This basically, I should explain something. There's a thing called conversion rate, which basically means what percentage of people who click on the link will buy from you. There's always a conversion rate. And on average, for beginners who are pretty shit at business, it might be 0.1%. That means 0.1% of the people who click on your link will buy it, which basically means one person in 1,000 people who click on the link will buy your program. So this is kind of like a numbers game. I basically just said, okay, if you get 1,000 people to click on that link, one person will buy it. So you should just be thinking, okay, well, how do I get 1,000 people to click on a link per day? Which basically, okay, we'll post YouTube videos on the same topic and we'll tell people in the middle of the video to click the link. They'll click it. A certain percentage of them will buy. We'll get our first sale, just like these guys. All 3 of these guys got their first sale yesterday. And that's literally just the game of you making your first sale online, your first dollar online. This is exactly step by step how you do it. If you want all of the very specific details, if you literally want me to hold your little sweaty hand and walk you through every autistic detail to do this, this is what I do inside of this program, where we've got a massive step-by-step, very detailed modules on like the exact business model. If you feel like you've already got some kind of achievement that's kind of, valuable. Like for example, one of our top students, he got the perfect score on a exam in his law school. So he wants to be like a lawyer, and he got 100% like the perfect score on this certain exam. So that's his achievement. And so his program, like he has his own page, his program was literally how to do well on that exam. And now he makes $15,000 a month. He joined, and in his first month of being in here, he got up to 15K. So this model is very fucking powerful. If you have some kind of area in life that you already feel kind of credible in, like you've already got a pretty good physique, or you've greatly increased your mental health, or you fixed your relationship with your father, or you quit drinking or quit smoking or whatever, if you've got a very clear progress that you've made, like some kind of achievement that you could look to and be like, yep, I fucking did that thing, this business model is the single best business model I could possibly recommend to you, because you literally make money from just talking about something that you did and helping people to get to the same goal that you did. So it's such a purposeful business model compared to doing some degenerate shit. Like, you know, like the gambling shit you hear of, trading and crypto and drop shipping and NFTs and all this way that most people are trying to make money these days. This way of making money is the most purposeful, most fulfilling, and it's like genuinely a good contribution to humanity. Really think about that. Like, imagine you make a program. Imagine there's like a guy who's watching this who quit smoking weed. He makes a program like this where he charges like $50, and people who want to quit smoking weed can buy it. Imagine that's like actually a good contribution to society. He's getting people to stop taking a drug, and also he's making money from it, so he's incentivized to actually help the people who buy it. Do you see how that's like such a win-win for fucking humanity? It's so fucking powerful. And also, it's just motivational, bro, because when you get a sale and someone's literally talking to you as if you are the master, the expert, you'll feel so fulfilled when you see people who have trusted you making progress. Like these 3 students here who made money yesterday, you should have fucking seen me as I was reading them. I was fucking hyping up. I was like shouting. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like I commented on each one as well. I was like, fuck yeah, bro, that's fucking sick. We all went on a call yesterday where I was hyping up, saying like, man, like so many of them have made progress. So it's not just about the money. It's like, it's genuinely really fulfilling as well. So that's why I recommend you to do this business model. And if you're going to do this business model, I'm the best teacher at it, and this is the best program for it, where I'll walk you through step by step, and I will literally I review my students' YouTube videos, sales pages. You literally get like my personalized feedback to make progress faster. So top link in the description if you want to have a look at the full step-by-step program. Goodbye.